Welcome to another episode of DMT.
Man, you gotta let that go.
Delivering more than paint. I'm Anthony Lewis.
I'm Paul Ireland.
And Paul, you did a fantastic episode on the importance of safety inspections.
Yeah, and it kind of leads into a great interview we did when we were at SEMA. Remember when we talked to Joe?
Yep.
That was fantastic, talking about calibration scanning. Joe is from Opus, and he did a great kind of side-by-side with some of the other direct OE scanning competitors and how to get paid for your pre, posts, in process, all that stuff. So let's go to Joe.
Yeah, roll the clip.
All right, we're here with our buddy Joe from Opus, and we had the opportunity to meet you 6 months ago.
That's right.
That's where Anthony and I got an opportunity to actually use the Opus scan tool. We got to do an OE scan, we did a standard scan, and that really changed it for us. Like, wow, it was really impressive what it could do. So one of the things that we're really trying to get out to our guys is, you know, one, what do they need to know? Like, what do they need to know when they walk in to talk to a customer about Opus?
Right. So I think one major thing is, what is the functionality that our tool can do? What's the benefit for the shop, right? So three major things for you. One is OE scanning, two is calibrations, and three is module reprogramming. That is all through the OE side of our tool. So something that kind of separates us is that OE component, right? We do have our software included, but that's the major benefit that our tool gives is really giving that full encompassing capability to perform diagnostics on a car.
And that's the other thing too, and I was going to just ask you about this. A lot of the competitors, you're waiting for an update for certain vehicles, right? Where if you're using the OE software, I'm assuming it doesn't matter if the car just came out, it's going to you're going to have everything you're going to need. You're not going to get an update needed or whatever.
Yeah, that's a great point. So all of the updates through us are weekly on Wednesdays. They're automatically pushed through, and there's no charge included with that. Most other scan tools are going to have, you know, some yearly or monthly charge. We push all that through for the customer, and you don't have to worry about it. Your tool's always up to date.
That's fantastic. So, in comparison to your competitors, I'm not going to go through the list.
Sure.
What does Opus have that's the advantage over the other competitive products?
Yeah, great question. So I think a couple things help us stand apart, right? You do have other OE competitors, and then you have our aftermarket competitors as well. So first and foremost, having OE in the tool, that's huge, right? One separator across all our competitors is that module reprogramming event, okay? So one thing we do that is different from everybody else is we put that OE software directly on the tool. Other companies that pass through, they have it at a base, you know, in a certain state, and they're passing that out. So they're not able to reprogram due to latency issues, right? So that's huge. And then it's our techs, right? All of our techs are master techs and very knowledgeable, brand specific. If you do need help, you can reach out to them, and they're very knowledgeable to be able to assist with your repair.
What is the average time on an OE scan? So, and I can speak from our experience, it was about 45 minutes before we had our report and all of our information, and it was great. It was, I think it was Richard was texting us, hey, we've started your scan, we're going to run this, hey, I'm completed, I'm compiling your data, and then we got it was about 45 minutes, and we had the information in the invoice, like bam, bam.
Right.
So where are we at? That was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Real world, what can our customers expect?
Yeah, so start to finish, I'd say right now on average, 30-35 minutes for a full process OE scan. Something to understand there is, first and foremost, OE scans are touching more modules, they're going to take more time. Sure. Two, we are remoting in to help, so it's going to take more time there. But three is that last piece that you said, is the report that we're generating. Our techs they're not just giving you the scan report and letting you walk off with it and figure it out. We're giving you options of, based off of the codes that you're receiving, this could be the issue you have. So you're always going to have a couple things of, check this out, a little more tech recommendations with that repair.
That's cool. So one last question, and I know we've got a lot of sales guys that have been successful selling other tools, and let's say in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, and maybe it was 6 months ago.
Sure.
any advice to those guys when they're going in saying, hey, here's something else you need to look at, and geez, I just spent all this money with you, now you're trying to get me something else. What's a little advice for our guys?
That's right. So with that, I think that our tool is often a gap filler for folks, right? And the answer to your question is the low cost to get into our tool with the ability to fill those gaps you're missing and reduce your sublet, right? So by all means, if your tool is working on the makes and models that you have, use that for now. But you're always going to have times where you need to sublet that to a dealer because of the OE software, right? And that's where we can come into play. So it's very low cost to get into our tool, and then it's pay as you go when you do those services. So use us next to those tools would be my answer, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Joe, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Guys, we've been talking about Opus for quite a while. Hopefully this helps out and sheds a little more light on, as we're going in, talking to our customers and trying to educate our customers as well. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.